It's the Two Strange Podcast.
Okay, another episode. Adjust your microphone, my friend.
Adjusted.
Like
Robocop.
Thank you for that.
That's what I'm about ASMR.
That was just him moving his Johnson.
Why? I thought we'll have a clean open for quite a disgusting episode.
You are very loud right now. I've got to adjust this. Okay.
Peeking.
You're a peking duck. All right, I'm going to lock the door, okay? Because we didn't do that last time, and we got quite scared because of the marauding.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Troublemakers.
There's banging, and we left to blood. There was blood all on the walls. And we did have to eat. So we come with an informed decisions today because we had to eat like people, didn't we, to get out?
Yeah.
There was like a wall of flesh and we just
What had happened is that we had inadvertently left a copy of Ravenous on one of our desks.
Yeah.
The students had then watched that, and then they had become marauding bands of cannibals that we had to then...
they were and they were all Wendigos. You could do, it was a tough time.
Crazed individuals. Yeah. But luckily, with our kung fu skills, we just solved that problem.
Flicked them away with Saitama punched them all. They're all just floating in the stratosphere right now.
Yeah, who's Saitama? Because, do you know what I mean? Like, grannies listen to us, mate. Who's
Do they?
Saitama? Yeah,
Is that our demographic?
Yeah, grannies. Yeah.
So it's a One Punch reference.
Hot local grannies in your area.
It's right. Bots then. It's a One Punch reference.
Oh yeah.
He's basically like a parody of Goku, and he's like the most so powerful no one takes him seriously.
Absolutely. I enjoyed watching the first season. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did know who he was?
Yeah, I did. But do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just drop a reference.
A bloody can.
Like a nerdy reference and expect people to know what you're talking about.
I've paid half the podcast fees now. I can say what I want.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's managed to pay up for his shares.
Shilling for shilling.
That's it. We're
pound of flesh by pound of flesh.
Absolutely, we're equal partners in this now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna lock in now.
Okay then. All right, partner. I've spoken for a long time. All right. I've done some research as well. Yeah. I've noticed that and this is a consistent thing now. I've got pages of research in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm looking around. You got fuck all, mate.
That's because you're a small brain.
I'm a small brain.
Yeah, like why would I need to have a weak ass paper in front of me when my mega mind has got the knowledge all locked in? Like this week's subject, for example.
Yeah.
Vorarephilia.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Boom, bitch.
What is? Well done. You remembered the name. You remembered the name of the thing that we were meant to research. Well done.
So it is a sexual fetish, the appetite of flesh, right?
You know what? You're a bit of a pervert, aren't you?
I know what I know.
Yeah. Didn't need to do any research about that, did you?
Because I'm part of it. I'm the Vorarephilia Society of Bedford.
You dirty, kinky bastard. All right. Okay, so yeah. Last week we kind of talked about cannibalism just in general, didn't we? I guess the end result would be stop it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of discussed the idea that there's loads of diseases, particularly when you go to the brain and the fatty tissues of the brain. There's lots of complications there when you start to move away from kind of tendons and fat like animals would have. Once you start to go into the brain, it can be a very dangerous affair.
Yeah.
It
was all about prions and basically a mad human disease, much like mad cow disease. Yeah.
And nature does that all the time, doesn't it? When you eat or fuck something you're not supposed to, nature fucks with you. I think is the thing to take away from that.
Yeah. That's good advice, Tom.
That's going to be our first merch T-shirt. When you fuck with nature, nature fucks with you.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say don't eat or fuck anything you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, both work. Yours is a bit more snappier.
Both are strong website quotes.
Yeah. Strong website quotes. Okay. All right. So, Vorarephilia Okay. That sexual desire to eat or be eaten. If you had to choose one, Tom, be an eater or a person to be eaten, which one? You only get to pick one.
Can I ask some follow-up questions?
Yeah, sure.
So, if I was to be the eater, do I have utensils to be able to cook?
Oh, good question. No.
Right. And if I was to be eaten, am I awake? Am I conscious?
I mean, if you're getting eaten, even if you are asleep, you're soon going to wake up. Like, it's not like a camel spider, which can, like, I think it's a camel spider, but there's some things that basically can numb the flesh, can't they?
Yeah.
And then you're not going to notice when it's like chowing down on your foot or something. Like, humans don't have that. As soon as someone creeps into my bedroom and starts gnawing on my ankle,
It's having a lot of go.
What I'm hoping so, but like if you say
you're hoping so,
I'm hoping it doesn't happen.
Oh,
I'm hoping it doesn't happen. But like, you know, you're making me like freak out. Like maybe it does. Maybe there's a guy that's living in my floorboards who is sustained by eating. I mean, I've not lost any limbs as far as I know. So like perhaps what's happening
is you eat a lot and not gain weight though.
What, like some sort of like liposuction monster?
Yeah, it's just like you just got this like weird little scar that won't go away. It bleeds every now and again.
I mean, if that's the case, I would say thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's drug.
Like a symbiotic version of it, isn't it? Like you get your meat and I get to look thin and awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe
not that looking thin is awesome, guys. I don't want to propagate any.
We're not here to body shame.
Yeah.
No.
But I would like a beach body.
But like, you know, what's that drug that everyone's taking at the moment? It starts with an M.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. It's the one that was originally for diabetes.
Yeah. Let's just call it Motipoxidil.
Mortadelo. Which is a meat. Oh, cheese.
Delicious. That's going to have the opposite effect if you keep having that. But no, Motipoxidil, yeah. Do you think that that's actually a placebo drug that you take, but really what happens is that you get possessed by a liposuction demon that comes to you at night and sucks the fatty tissues out of your body?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
100%.
We cracked it, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even a debate. That's what happens. Yeah, it puts you in a sedation.
Yeah.
And then the little demon's just like, yeah, another one. Thanks, American farmer.
That's it.
Farmer with a PH.
Yeah.
Not farmer.
Big farmer. Yeah. Cool. Like if we were a Joe Rogan-sized podcast, that would be on front page. What we've just said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Liposuction demons. Watch out for them, people. Anyway,
and our expert, Mr. Diamond, he's going to talk to you about the liposuction.
Yeah. That guy. And go on, take it away, Mr. Demon.
That's a very big straw. Where you going with that?
Okay, so today I haven't even finished the question. Like, are you an eater or an ET? Well, are you prey or meat? I guess.
I mean, survival instincts will kick in, right? I don't want to be eaten, so most people are gonna pick to eat, right? To prolong their life.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'd rather do neither. Yeah. I think I'd rather starve and just be left alone than do either of those things.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So what you're saying is you've got like a fetish for starving yourself, is what you're saying, and being alone.
Right. If being alone is a sexual kink, then I ain't vanilla. Sign me up, baby.
Okay, all right. I mean, I think, it all depends on who I'm eating, but yeah, I'd probably eat someone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You got a preferred dish, have you?
Like, we were talking about, like, body shaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this last week? Do you know what I mean? Like fattier meat is more flavourful, so...
We kind of touched on it, didn't we?
Yeah.
So,
that's fine.
Man or woman?
Man or woman?
Or you're not picky?
Well, this is the thing.
Do you think they'll be different in taste?
Well, this is a nice little segue into like kind of what I wanted to talk about. Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So, like man or women, like, and that whole thing, like, I mean, we're talking now about the idea of cannibalism as like a sexual kink sort of thing. Yeah.
So it goes beyond survival.
Yeah. Now, have you ever heard of a guy called Armin Muse?
I have. This is a really interesting story.
Yeah.
So please proceed.
Yeah, it's the Rottenburg cannibal,
Yeah.
like a German cannibal, and he was in the news in 2001, and there's been like a couple of films been made out of this, and also, you know, an episode of the It Crowd, if you've ever seen that. There was one. Essentially, what he ended up doing was he like acting on different forums and stuff like that. He cannibal forums is what I'm talking about, because they're out there.
They exist.
They exist. There's forum for everything.
So
isn't
would
there?
they be in the dark web, or is it a website that's part of the public domain? Because that seems like something that would be in the dark web, right?
Well, as far as I'm aware, you can look at the original forum, which was called the Cannibal Cafe. You can look at it with the Wayback Machine. So
wow, so it was public forum.
It was
at
public
one point.
forum, yeah.
That's crazy.
But like, it's full of people that are just sort of using it as a way to like get their kinks out there and just like, you know, have interactions
fantasizing.
with people. Fantasizing, yeah. But people are like taking it seriously in 2001, and there is at least 2 people that took it to an extreme level of seriousness. So essentially, what you have with the story of Armin Muse is that you've got a guy who basically like killed and ate someone who was fully consenting of the entire process. So it's kind of like it's a weird sort of debate whether it was like almost like an assisted suicide or something like that. But anyway, I'll tell you some bits about it, and also talk about the Cannibal Cafe in a little while as well. So anyway, we'll just talk about the actual event. Muse was 39 years old. I've just turned 39. Yeah, already I'm relating with this guy.
Why are you looking at me like that? Right, just for those that are not in the room, you know that scene where Roadrunner clocks Coyote for the first time?
Yeah.
That was your face.
Oh, yeah.
And you just made mention that fatty meat was the best meat. And I've got a bit of timber.
Yeah. And the door's locked.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's carry on,
so,
mate.
Put your bloody eyes down. I'm not a piece of steak. And carry on with the story. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so 39 years old, just like me, Tom. Just like
Stop it.
He was a computer technician living in a German village. I was once.
You've been a technician.
I was a media technician, wasn't I? At one point in time, Tom.
Have you ever lived in a village?
I currently live in a village.
So I'm going to go, guys. I'll see you later.
No, you're not. And yeah, so he lived in a German village, and he at one point in time brought home, had sex with, and killed a 44-year-old Berlin man who lived about 250 miles away. A guy called Brands, I guess that's his surname there. He ended up eating 44 pounds of his flesh. And Brands was totally consenting of this. And so, you know...
But how do we know that? Like, once they got there, how do we know that there wasn't a moment where he was like, nah, I've made a mistake here?
So it was all filmed.
It was all filmed?
He filmed it.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So, like, this is why we get such a sort of a graphic telling of this story. Back in 2001, this was like absolutely mental, and you know, it got a huge amount of media attention, and then documentaries and stuff like that about it. It became this whole big thing in 2001. Yeah, 2001. What a weird fucking year.
Yeah, 2001, the Meat Odyssey,
and 9/11,
and yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget, like, there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, I mean, we're not American, so we kind of just forget, right? Sometimes.
I don't.
No,
never forget.
It's like the 7/11 bombings, right? Like, they happened here, but it's only once like 9/11 brings up that I remember that the 7/11 bombings were a thing.
Yeah.
And they were like a big deal.
Yeah,
like,
they were a big deal. Yeah.
I was around then, and I remember them like scary time.
Did you watch 9/11 on the TV when it was happening?
I was a bit too young for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
I was like 8, so I was probably playing in the garden. Probably.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or on my Sega, playing my Donald Duck games.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I kind of remember the buzz around. The buzz around it's the wrong thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember the discourse around it, and and even though we're in a different country, like my parents being worried.
Yeah.
And then a couple of 4 years later, the 7/11 bombing's happening. I remember that time frame being quite a scary place to be.
Yeah, I've got this like similar thing that probably a lot of other people have, where like when I tend to like look at a clock, a lot of the time it's like either 9/11 in the morning or 9/11 at night. And
That's weird.
Yeah, but it's all. I mean, the thing is though, it's that thing where like you see lots and lots of different times,
but you're forming the pattern.
But and I'm not noticing those times. But when it hits 9/11, I'm like, oh yeah.
It's like the what's the Devil's Hour?
What 666?
No, 3. Is it 3:11?
Oh no, I don't know about that. That's a rock band.
No, so there's a Amazon even did a show, a fictional show about it, but and the playwright Sarah Kane used to wake up within the Devil's Hour, and I don't know if you know much about Sarah Kane. She did 411 Psychosis.
Yeah, I do know Sarah Kane. Yeah,
and yeah, she continuously would wake up at the Devil's Hour, and when and I believe in her suicide note, that makes reference to being possessed and being woken up at the Devil's Hour. So,
interesting.
Yeah, there's lots of references to that within kind of like history, modern culture, but it's our ability to form patterns, right? Because it's quite a nonchalant time, but because it's happened before, you form that pattern again. Because how many times do you wake up, right?
Why is it always 11? Like,
I'm not really sure.
In
Maybe it's something we could do for a future episode, because there's a lot of like discourse around waking times and demons and I call it timeology. Things happening at certain times and the pattern of the brain. So maybe we can do that for a future episode.
Yeah,
it's super interesting.
Write it down. You got to write it down because we always forget, don't we? Next episode, we know what's going on. Next episode, though. Next episode, we are going to be
balloons, baby.
We're going to be having sex with balloons live on air.
No, we're not. I just want one clean episode I can show my mum.
I am going. Not happening, mate. Not happening. I am going to swallow a inflated balloon live on air.
Yeah, no, what you're going to do is you're going to swallow an uninflated balloon and then you're going to put the pump in. It's going to...
And this episode is about inflation. Good luck, everyone.
There is an inflation kink, by the way.
Of course, mate. I do know. I do know. It might even like feature somewhere down the line in all of this disgusting, filthy research I've got. It's so disgusting.
You loved it, didn't you? It's your favourite one.
Reprobates out there, anyway. Muse and Brands, the two Germans, they first communicated in February 2001. So before the Twin Towers.
Why did he do it on the Twin Towers?
It's got nothing to do with it, but I keep. But yeah,
because that would be like an incredible like
that would be
merging of news stories, wouldn't it?
He was all the while working for Al Qaeda.
No, just him chowing down, like watching the towers go down, just like.
Oh, that's interesting.
Cheers, Brands.
I'm a bit distracted with what I'm doing, but sure.
Yeah.
So when the soon-to-be cannibal responded to Brand's online ad looking for someone to eat him alive, and this is quoted, "No slaughter, but eating," they were sending daily emails to one another describing exactly what would happen when they meet. So. He also is quoted as saying to Brands, "I hope you're really serious about it because I really want it, and I've already met enough cyber cannibals." So like, it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's people out.
He's differentiate the fantasists, to the people that actually want to.
It's crazy when you actually look at the Cannibal Cafe forum and some of the what's the word posts people are making. it's really like a very dangerous sort of place to be in when you think about it, really, because like if there's at least one person who would enact those fantasies, then there must at least be another
IP
person.
Address. I mean, the security back then wasn't as tight as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'll give you a quote from one of these people. This is from a posted by Nikolai in September 2002. I am a very dangerous man to get to know. I can lift 5 140-pound girls and carry them for miles, squeezing them hard enough to crush their puny spines like a toothpick.
Nice guy.
Yeah. I don't know how you feel about that guy. And then here's another one by Devil's Food. I am interested in being eaten alive through roleplay. Anyone willing can reach me here or via email. Nice and simple.
Yeah. Well, why is that one so like, you know?
I mean, like Devil's Food and Nikolai.
Do you think that they're being eaten is more? I guess it is submissive, isn't it?
It is a bit submissive, isn't it?
The little bitches like to get eaten.
Yeah, and I do actually have some others here. Okay, so some of these are actually quite difficult because I've got my screenshots, so I can't really read them. But I can read this one. So it's always great, and you know someone's not unhinged if when they write a paragraph, they add like sections of absolute capitals like throughout it. Yeah. So I'm just going to shout these.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So when it's capitals. And forgive me if I'm struggling a bit because it's quite not quiet. It's quite difficult to read it. So, I'm a healthy 29-year-old real slave and offer my naked slave body to a really cruel, evil, sadistic bitch goddess or couple for immediate slaughter and snuffing. I would like to quietly and totally disappear without trace. This is for real. I live in New York and can relocate quickly to the right slave owner who is ready to take possession of my naked slave body. I beg you to help! I'm going to stop reading.
I mean, these people are not well, are they? Like,
no.
There needs to be support. Like, genuine. I know this is a very old forum, all those people, hopefully they're still alive. But like, they need help.
But like, let's not alienate our, our new listeners that might be fetishists and stuff like that.
But that goes beyond, because a fetish, for me, should never put your life at risk. That is the line that I draw in the sand.
Okay, but we've already talked about in our fears episode the idea of seeking thrills and stuff like that, and doing stuff that's fucking scary that puts your life at risk. But how is this any different to fucking spelunking? And that's totally fine.
Because with that, it's skill, right? You are literally saying, I want to be killed.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be snuffed out. Like, I feel like with spelunking, yes, you're risking your life, but you are... It's an activity, it's a thrill seeking, but the intention is not for you to die.
But you're jumping out of a plane.
With safety gear.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it might go wrong, but 9 times out of 10, it doesn't. Otherwise, the activity wouldn't run.
But take that same sentence and apply that to the Cannibal Cafe.
9 times out of 10 are going to waste your time.
Yeah, exactly. 9 times out of 10, they're going to be, as Muse... calls them cyber cannibals.
But, right, we're not talking about planning a spelunking, we're talking about turning up. So if you turn up, 10 out of 10 times you're going to get killed. With spelunking, 1 out of 100 you're going to get killed. So it doesn't feel like the same level of risk-taking.
Okay, you started adding numbers there, my maths is terrible. So, you lost me.
If you've got 100 spelunkers...
Yeah.
One of them's probably going to die. Probably way less than that with the safety gears.
I'm sorry, spelunking, like... Do you know what I mean? Like, that's probably a lot higher.
I went spelunking with, 40, young people, and none of us died. And I went over I went 3 times.
Tom.
What? Why are you getting so angry about this? I'm telling you my life experience.
More people have died from spelunking than they have by wanting to be eaten.
That's just because there's less people. Like, if there was 500 people meeting cannibals and asking to be snuffed out, and 500 people spelunking, I can guarantee you the death rate on the cannibals would be much higher than people in caves.
What about like spelunking into the mouth of a cannibal?
Then it's pretty much, that's it, game over, right?
Fair enough. Yeah. That's the ultimate thrill for those spelunkers out there, is to like mix with the cannibals
into the cave's mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like because they love to get into like small crevices, so they can just like crawl into like a sleeping cannibal's mouth and see how far they can get in.
How big do you think these cannibals are? Do you think they're like the BFG?
I think they're like Attack on Titan. I mean,
they do look like the sort of things that would love a little bit of a danger meet-up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Kinky Titan bastards.
Yeah, and for anyone who's not an anime nerd, Attack on Titan, just search it up. Immediately, you'll see these giant naked things with big smiles. Yeah, you know who they are. Anyway, okay.
You know who they are.
You get it.
You're calling out the audience. You know, you little pervert.
You love to see smiling, naked, genitalless. Yeah. They don't have genitals, do they?
But they're very muscular, aren't they? It's almost like their skin's been stripped off and it's all muscle. They're very homoerotic, really.
Yeah.
Some of them,
like
Eren Yeager's is.
Yeah, the Jaegers specifically. Are they called Jaegers? They are, aren't they? They're called hunters, like in Japanese, aren't they? Like the ones that you can control.
Well, Eren Yeager is the main character, is the main character of the first.
I'm getting mixed up with what was that? What's that film by Guillermo del Toro? They were called Jaegers, weren't they?
Yeah,
the big robots.
So,
yeah, Pacific Rim. Anyway, doesn't matter. Attack on Titan. As far as I'm aware, Armor Muse was not 60 foot tall. So he wasn't a Titan.
Yeah. Okay.
Good to know. Anyway, so they met up, all right? And then Muse took him back to his house and stuff like that. They had sex. I don't think they filmed that. It was a sexual thing. It was very sexual. You know?
See, when you said it was a sexual component, I genuinely just thought the sexual component came from the eating. I didn't realise there was sex and then the eating.
Yeah. Basically, he turned on a video camera to record the process, and he cut off Bran's penis at about 6:30 p.m. that day. Now, before we go into it, okay, after coitus, there's a moment of like, do you know what I mean? Like, done. Like satisfaction and stuff like that, and
post nut clarity.
Absolutely. Where was their post nut clarity at this point in time? They've got themselves all worked up, and then
they probably thought, well, we said we would. Kind of like when you go to a party that you don't want to go to, but I said I would though. Do you think it was that sort of thing? And then, get the video camera.
If only it was, but it wasn't. That's the problem. So anyway, so what essentially happened, okay, is the bit that stayed with me is the whole process of how Muse went through the whole process of slaughtering this guy. Yeah. So fully consensual. Okay, they gave him some pain medication and stuff like that to like get him drowsy and stuff like that, so he wouldn't feel it. And then they together tried to castrate. Brands. Okay. Are you right, mate?
I feel a little bit like white. It's just awful, isn't it?
It's awful. I'll tell you what. Let's not focus on this. I'll get through this.
No, because I'm really interested. I'm just not okay.
So he's in a bath at this point in time. Okay. He's like chilling out in a bath. And they start to cut off his willy with a knife, but then the knife doesn't work, so you can't get through the willy. So he goes off and gets a better knife. That is the first red flag for Brands. He should be like, all right, that's it. You are not the cannibal for me.
You should have been prepared.
Yeah. You should be better prepared. That sort of thing.
You're like,
you know what I mean?
Put a flame under that knife and cauterize it. Like, No, but like,
Well,
you know,
good advice.
If we're thinking about the idea of making him comfortable, right, as much as you can, cauterize the knife and
Yeah. Or don't fucking do it in the first place.
Yeah.
But sure. What he should have done.
Yeah, sorry, that was really fucked up.
Like, if Muse was a nice guy, what would he have done? It's like, oh yeah, Brands, yeah, come to my house. I'll kill you. Yeah, get in the bath. Now put this blindfold on. I'm gonna cut your willy off now.
Yeah.
I'm cutting your willy off. And then he puts a sausage in his mouth. Does that taste good? Oh yeah.
Oh, what? So he ate his own body part?
Yeah, this was a fantasy of Brands to basically what's the word? So he picked up half of his severed penis and attempted to bite it, which was a fantasy of his for years, and it didn't work because the meat was too thick. That's a humble brag right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't get this big,
even flaccid,
giant thing in my mouth. Oh no, I'm a big boy, aren't I? But yeah, so Muse boiled the halves and seasoned them with salt and pepper and garlic. Yeah. So, if you are...
Did they stem the bleeding then? Because, like, if he had time to go and cook stuff, he was clearly stemming the bleeding.
Well, no, this is the thing. Like, their idea was essentially that, like, if they just chopped off the willy... I just think if I say chop off willy as opposed to penis, it's a bit more chilled out. Right. And it doesn't make you go white as much, so I just say willy. Anyway. Yeah. So he chops off the willy.
It helps.
It does, doesn't it? So he chops off the willy, and then... and the idea is for him to just bleed out,
right?
And he eventually dies, and it's through just bleeding out. Yeah. So anyway, chops off the willy, and he boils it. Like again, the second mistake that Brands has made.
You don't boil meat to make it tender.
I know, Tom. I know. And so I am really royally pissed off at Armin Muse because he has literally got this golden goose, this person who wants to eat, and he's not taking any cookery lessons.
Yeah, he's fucked it.
He's absolutely fucked it. And so basically he's gone in, he's like chopped his willy off, he's not got the right knife. Like if I was a cannibal... like a Vorarephilia, I would be like with my Japanese $500 knives and be like, "Yep, this will be done in."
It looked
no
like the
time.
film The Menu in my house. It's just and I have a team.
Yeah. Everyone's getting involved. Yeah,
I just spoiled the menu for
like
people.
Like a production line.
Yeah.
Is that your family?
The film, The Menu.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying at your house.
Yeah.
Are you employing people, or is it just like your family?
Well, I'd have to get top of the line chefs, wouldn't I? Like, this is a golden goose opportunity. You've got to.
Yeah, I
suppose
go I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
And you know, those chefs are probably there because I like threaten their family or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I can't just get nut jobs. Got to get like top of the line. And then they're not going to want to do it, so gonna have to blackmail them or something.
I mean, like, you could just employ people from the Cannibal Cafe.
Yeah, I suppose so. But are any of them trained chefs? Because I don't want them boiling stuff.
I mean, like, this one isn't, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so he gives him a bit of his boiled penis, seasoned with salt and pepper, no less, really pushing the boat out there.
And a bit of garlic.
And a bit of garlic, yeah. He ran a bath for Brands at this point in time, so that he could like pass away peacefully. And this is about 8 p.m. He's cooking the rest of the penis. Okay, the willy. Sorry, he's cooking the rest of the willy, and he's left Brands. He's not even with this guy. He's left him to pass away in the bathroom. Okay, bleeding out. Brands fell asleep in the tub as Muse sat in another room reading a Star Trek novel. The penis burns in the pan.
I love what you're emphasising. As a deaf man, you're like, he's just fucked this.
He's absolutely fucked it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that stayed with me, okay? You know me, I like a good Star Trek novel. Yeah? I'm 39, live in a village. Yeah, lots to relate with.
So he boiled it and then he cooked it again.
So he boiled his penis so that Brands could have some, and then later on he's cooking more of it, or he's cooking a part of his body, and he burns it. And the intention is that they're going to share it and stuff. But like, oh, sorry, mate. Like, as he's passing away, falling asleep and passing away, the guy is not even looking at the meat on the stove. Like, he has zero respect for this guy. He is absolutely fucked it. And that is the saddest thing. I'm getting a bit teary. I get a bit teary at the idea that this guy...
He's clearly a sociopath. He was clearly never going to care for him anyway, right? Like, he wanted to eat him. It was just a meal for him, so...
Well, no, I mean, sad, like, the thing is, like, later on, the guy says, like, when he's... when he ends up, like, you know, going through the whole butchering process with the the body of Brands, like, he even calls him things like my darling and my love and things like that. Like, so, like, he's at least, you know, pretending at the idea that he cares for this person. But yeah, like, it's a bit sad. It's a bit sad.
It's really sad.
Yeah, just how
it's really sad.
And it's mainly
because it is suicide.
Yeah.
It's
a weird way of suicide, isn't it?
It is suicide.
Yeah.
You've asked someone to take your life.
Yeah.
And you just think about the things that it's like when they're falling asleep in the bathtub.
Yeah.
No way were they thinking this is exactly what I wanted.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
you've got the buyer's remorse, haven't you? Like, oh, don't fuck this up now.
And I think the sad thing is, they just removed the penis. So if it had stemmed the tide of the blood, they could have just walked away.
Yeah.
Obviously the quality of the life wouldn't have been as good because you've like done a botched.
Yeah.
You know. But they could have walked away and had part of their fantasy, right, and just, you know, he's just a eunuch for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I feel really bad about this. But anyway, I didn't do it. I didn't kill anyone, so I shouldn't feel bad. I think
it's human for us to feel sad about this.
Yeah.
Because it's a murder.
Yeah.
I mean, you dress it up however you want, but it's a murder. And the moment where, like, oh, murder's funny is the moment we lose our morality, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's fine for us to be sad.
But it's just, like, what is funny is just how badly
inept
he did this.
There are humorous elements to this, don't get me wrong. I mean, who in their fucking right mind goes, oh, hard meat that I'm not used to, I'm going to boil it?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy that is your age.
Yeah.
And we are both men in our 30s.
I'm also a Star Trek fan.
You are, yeah. There's a lot of really concerning connections here. But, like, how long have you been aware of how to treat meat?
I've been aware to treat meat my entire adult life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, it's quite basic knowledge for men our age, isn't it?
Yeah.
How to treat your meat.
Look after meat, yeah.
This is such a silly episode.
They all are from now on.
Yeah.
No movies, no film critique.
They're all just this. Silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad. The mismanaging of it is sad, and it makes the whole tragedy even sadder because it's a parody of itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
And garlic with penis.
I mean, they're the most basic. Like, what would you serve with the penis then? If it's not garlic, then.
Thyme, parsley. I don't know. Like, I imagine it's similar in like sort of kind of density and hardness to pork, right?
Well, this is what he says. He says it tastes like pork. This is what he said. He seasoned a piece of Brand's back with salt, pepper, garlic, rosemary, and green pepper sauce. Later, he would state that the meat tasted like pork. I mean, I guess that's a German way of doing it. With us, if we're doing pork, what we're doing a bit of thyme.
Yeah, or you go something sweet.
Yeah, apple.
Yeah, like an apple sauce.
Yeah.
Because it balances out the sort of like richness, doesn't it?
But come on, like a penis is not actual muscle. There's no muscle in a penis.
It's cartilage, right?
Well, it's not I don't know if it's cartilage, but it's like it fills with blood and then it resembles a muscle, but it's not meat. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what he's even like boiling. It's just like offal, isn't it? He's better off just chopping a bit of the leg or something.
Like, did he take the skin off? Like,
but like it was his sexual kink was Bran's. It was his desire to try his own willy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just remove your ribs and have a nosh on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or you could make a cast.
Yeah.
And
fill it with pork.
Fill it with pork. Yeah, and live the rest of your life.
Oh, how sad.
Yeah, 44 years old. Anyway, so what happened to Muse? He was first found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to over 8 years in prison.
That was it.
How do you feel about that?
8 years.
Do you feel like that he should have got more?
Should have got more for burning the fucking meat, to be honest. He completely not only did he take someone's life, he essentially took their fantasy away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 8 years is criminal.
Yeah. So some people protested and said that Muse should only be sentenced to 5 years.
What? So they protested it.
Yeah.
That it should be like the least severe manslaughter case.
Yeah, so
even assisted suicide is a higher.
Well, this is in Germany, remember, and the maximum sentence for killing on request is 5 years. So if someone asks you to kill them, assisted suicide, essentially. But anyway, others thought he should be put away for life, and he eventually was. They retrialed him, and then he was sentenced to life in prison.
What was the justification of life? Why the change? Because that's quite a big jump, isn't it?
He was convicted of murder.
Oh, so they changed it to first-degree murder.
Yeah.
I agree.
Cool. It's good to know.
Cool.
It's good to know.
No, I do. There's malicious intent there.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'd given him life for
I could see I can see the argument for the 5 years for a kill on request, but these are terminally ill people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
And I guess you could say that he was terminally ill in a way because of his. Well, I'm making broad statements, but it sounds like Bran's had some mental health issues.
Yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, there's going to be mental health issues with, I kind of think, all of this.
Yeah.
Really, we're talking about people's
it's
sexual
an extreme
desires.
kink.
It's extreme sexual desires and stuff.
Yeah.
It's it must be all consuming. Do you know what I mean? I could not imagine having anything like that going on in my life.
It's like when you worry that, I don't know if this happens to other people, but when I was a teenager, I was worried that I was going to get some weird, kink.
Fetish.
Yeah. I mean, you have these sorts of worries, don't you? I mean, I was worried. I remember that quite juvenile. Yeah. I remember when I was 12, I fancied a 12-year-old, and I remember having the thought, what if I just fancy 12-year-olds? But thankfully, my sort of taste has evolved with my age. Yeah. So I've always had age-appropriate tastes. But you do have that worry when you're young, don't you? That I'm liking people my age. What if that? Because for some people that never matures, does it? Mm. And it was a worry for me, unfounded worry, because I very much grew up and kind of I've always age appropriate. So unfounded, but that must be scary if it doesn't happen.
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about paedophilia, Tom. Can we just move on?
What is even happening?
I don't know. I've just come on, man. All my research is about Vorarephilia. I don't want to go into realms untravelled.
Are you a Caprio guy? Do you like your 20-year-olds?
No.
Right.
I'm absolutely not having this conversation with you. I'm a happily married man, and I've never had any sort of strange thoughts.
Right.
Ever.
About anything.
Just
to classify vanilla, baby.
Absolutely. So anyway, Vorarephilia, yes. Tom, Anyway.
Yeah, let's go back to talking about eating people.
So I Wikipedia'd. That's a word.
Wikipedia'd, yeah.
I Wikipedia'd Vorarephilia. And what was funny is that the information about Vorarephilia on Wikipedia doesn't have effective citations.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So basically, for example, in one of the sentences in the first paragraph, essentially says soft vor fantasies, so vor being Vorarephilia, soft vor fantasies are separated from sexual fantasies of cannibalism, also referred to as hard vor.
Hard vor.
So Armin Muse would be a hard vor, and soft vor is the people that just, they're the cyber cannibals.
Okay.
Yeah. But what's interesting is when they've got the citations next to it, it just says in brackets, better source needed. And so I looked at that better source, what that better source was, because someone's taken the time to actually put that on there and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Now, what it ends up being is a survey done for a very specific porn website.
Right.
And I think it's... I don't know the name of the website, and it doesn't even matter. But I just found some of the results of this website survey. It's quite interesting, actually. Okay. So, that is literally all it is big PDF. And that's the only citation you've got to Vorarephilia on Wikipedia. And it's got things like demographically, what are your preferences? Are you prey or are you a predator?
So it's like a BDSM type of...
I guess so.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, though, it's very like deviant art and Rule 34.
Yeah,
it's very linked to anime. There's a lot of weebs here.
Yeah.
And what I've kind of noticed...
Freaks and geeks.
Yeah. But, the thing is, with all of that stuff, you just end up getting into freakier and freakier shite.
Yeah. Well, they say, don't they? It's a downward trajectory.
It's a downward slope. Yeah.
Like porn addiction.
Yeah.
Eventually that doesn't hit, so you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the well until you hit kind of depravity.
Next thing you know, you're reading Star Trek novels.
While burning some fucking meat in the background. I'm so annoyed about that.
So anyway, okay, so sorry, the writing here is really difficult. Okay, so for example, furries. Yeah, do you consider yourself a furry? Only a quarter said that they were a furry. And then, almost a quarter said that they were unsure. The majority said no, they weren't furries. Are you an anime fan? A resounding 2/3 said yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, though, it also incorporates other elements as well. So there's not just people that are interested in cannibalism and eating, yeah? There's loads and loads of little subgenres of fetish. So, for example, oral vor is people who eat people via the mouth. Yeah?
Okay. Then, are you going to... Wait.
Anal vor.
Oh, right. End of episode. Let's wrap this up. What the hell, man?
That is the second most popular type of vor.
Well, people are shoving human meat up their bum. Is that what this is? Is that what it is?
Not like steaks, Tom. I think it's it's like anime, comics and stuff like that with oh, teacher, no, leave me alone, no, get in my bum. And then and then they swallow them like an anaconda with their bum.
What the fuck is this episode? I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Why does this exist?
So anyway, this is a perfect opportunity to marry two things. Spelunking.
No, it's not. You're having a whale of a time at this episode. I've never felt so detached from my own skin.
I think we've got like a new... If we get these people together with spelunkers, we could make millions, all right, with the whole idea of bum spelunking.
Do you understand how the sphincter works? And even the smallest of humans would not be able to wear them like suits.
I was always under the impression that it was quite... what's the word?
Doesn't open up past the... It can only go so wide.
Okay, fair enough. It's quite a forgiving host, I was going to say. Oh, dear. What's the time? We've hit 50 minutes.
Have we really? Felt every second.
So, yeah, there you go. Do you feel like you've learnt something today?
That I am a very innocent boy. That I'm actually not ready for, like, 75% of the world.
Do you remember that Florida man recently who was absolutely high on things like bath salts and stuff like that, who chewed another man's face off?
Yes.
Yeah. I've got not really anything to say about that, other than it's not the only case. There was also a case in northern Florida of a woman who was high, also on bath salts, who attempted to behead her 70-year-old mother. Good Lord.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Jesus. I mean, like, it's called, like, the new LSD. It's like... People ain't doing that on LSD.
Yeah,
bath salts,
that's crazy.
Pretty crazy shit. Jesus.
All people do on LSD is sit on a wall and have like a prophetic vision.
Yeah.
Like they ain't decapitating it.
Yeah. Like people are into some extreme stuff. Yeah. Oh dear. Have you got anything positive to say, Tom?
Oh dear. Next week isn't about sex.
About eating.
Yeah.
But is it? I mean, it is.
Oh, it is about sex. Oh, for God's sake.
We're still in the philias, aren't we? We're in a more pleasant philia, aren't we?
Yeah. Like what I would consider a funny one.
Yeah. Hopefully so.
Yeah.
Hopefully so. We've managed to extract some laughs out of this, even if it has been a dodgy sort of topic.
Yeah. I've never seen you go like bright red before not being able to breathe. And that happened about 3 times in the space of like 2 minutes.
So yeah, let's end with a little bit of information on like the psychological process of a cannibal. Yeah, like a little bit of information just to finish off
light-hearted, like we said.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so so the main process is that many cannibals strive on having power over someone else, and devouring someone could be viewed as an ultimate act of dominance by a predator and an ultimate act of submission by the prey. While this specifically ties to sexual cannibalism, it can easily be applied to other types of cannibalism. I'm done with this topic, Tom.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
This is tough.
Threw it on the floor. So next week, we're gonna go into the realms, continue this sort of like fetishy, the fetish month. Talk a little bit about attractions to
Tom,
objects.
You have said that it's fetish month. Are you aware that it's Pride month?
Oh.
Yeah, that is completely accidental. The two things do not align.
Yeah. I'm not that guy.
We're not doing that.
Yeah. Oops. No, just coincidental.
Yeah.
I do not see sexuality as a kink.
Can you imagine if like the LGBTQ like eventually like encompassed cannibals as well? We just added a C in there. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Well, we've got rights. Like we should be able to get out of here.
I know you didn't want to talk about paedophilia, but this is a good segue.
Yeah.
Right.
Great.
Because do you know MAPS? Have you heard of MAPS before?
No.
So it's a bunch of paedophiles trying to redress the whole thing. And they call themselves minor attracted persons.
Yeah.
right?
There was a South Park episode about this.
And they're trying to get into LGBT. And I just think LGBTQ maps plus, even if I agree, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, in the protest, you're going to have like two groups of people. There's one group that's like, we should be able to like have relationships with minors, and then another group says, yeah, and eat them. Wait, no.
Yeah, lump them together. The bad boys of the LGBTQC map.
And then another guy says, I'm just here to spelunk. Like, what's going on?
Maybe C maps will become a thing. Cannibal minor attracted people.
That is definitely a thing already.
And then C maps.
C maps, yeah, it's a thing. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of technical thing.
Oh, okay. So it's not a bunch of like paedophiles that want to dine out on children.
You know what should happen is the cannibals dine out on the maps, guys.
And that's interesting because like we were talking recently about chemical castration for
prisoners,
convicted rapists and convicted rapists. It's a law that's potentially being passed.
So it's trialing in the UK in some prisons. It's fully what's the word? I can't think what the word is. Fully consensual.
Yeah, like you get offered the castration, don't you, if you're a multiple offender?
Yeah.
And I think particularly if you're a rapist of young people.
But they do it in the US. They do it in Germany, in fact, as well. But do you know what I mean? Like, what's funny is like since it's come up, I've had a lot of sort of like debates with people about like whether this is right or not. And like I've even used the word consensual just then. It's like, oh, well, it's fully consensual, so it's fully fine. But like Brands, the guy got his willy chopped off.
That was consensual.
That was consensual.
And that made us feel weird, didn't it?
Yeah, that made us feel very weird. It's like, oh, you shouldn't have been consenting to that. Yeah. So, spicy subject.
We could delve into that, but the idea of like consent and informed consent are different things. Medicine uses it all the time. This idea of informed consent. I might be saying yes to it, but if I'm not of the mind where I understand what I'm saying yes to, it's not consent.
Mm. Just as the bum spelunkers would say, we could delve into that. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good segue.
What, to finish the episode?
Yeah.
A good conclusion. Next week.
Get him a bum.
Get him. Next week, balloons in bums. What are your thoughts?
I think the film should come back.
It's too late, mate. It's too late.
We're too far in.
The Pandora's...
It's what she said.
Pandora's bum has been opened now, and chaos reigns.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Here's a disclaimer. We are not experts. We can easily get things wrong in an episode. Our intention is to explore and open up the possibilities for further exploration. Come find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. We would love some interaction. Also, if you can consider supporting us on Patreon, that would help a bunch. Search for 2, that's number 2, Strange Men Pod, all one word. Until next time, keep it strange.